want to say good afternoon to everybody who's watching us live today. We started a 4-part series, and today is the first day, and got a few important people with me today. Got Mr. Ahmad Mutasik, got Donna Bell Gibson,
Hey.
and me, of course, Pastor Tremaine Harris. And then we have Dylan Duncan here today. And so we want to have a roundtable discussion with you guys today and talk about what a man needs from his woman. And so we know many of you are quarantining today and looking for something to do. And so we thought we would start to address some important subjects that we don't really talk about in the church, and things that we know that are important to you and maybe can help your relationship out, your marriage out as you're quarantined, spending more time together. And so we thought that we would do it from a married perspective today, do it from a young man and a single perspective today. And we thought we would have Donna to come on today and to ask us a few questions and just have a roundtable discussion about the things that men are looking for from their women. And so we're gonna turn it over to Donna, let her get started on some of her questions that she had for us today, and see if we can get an idea of what men are looking for from their women. So let's go for it, Donna.
Right, so first I just want to let y'all know that I had a 100 pack of index cards, and it didn't take me long to get to like 50 index cards. So I have a lot of questions and I need some answers.
Okay.
All right, so I guess first I'll just like to start it off by asking, what is the first quality? Like when you're looking, or if you're dating, if you're just out walking and you see women, like what is the first thing that you notice about a woman?
Yeah, I'll let you go.
The first thing I notice is her body, and then her face, her teeth. That's the first thing I look at: her body, her face, and teeth.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
The first thing you physically see is the body.
Yeah.
Right. So you size up by the body. So does that indicate, does that indicate if we move on to the next step?
Yeah, well, I feel like you got to have a physical attraction to somebody to go. I mean, you don't have to, but that definitely helps.
Right.
Get a physical attraction to go further.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think different people are attracted to different things, right?
Right.
And so, what I like is one thing, and what Ahmad like is something different. What he like is something different. And so, when they say beauty is in the eye of the beholder, that's really a true statement.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think for each individual person, when they look at, somebody, for some people, somebody who weighs 120 pounds, that's just not what they're looking for.
Right.
And for another guy, somebody who, that's exactly what they're looking for. So it's really an individual thing, and I think what you like as a person.
Yeah, I can see that. I just kind of feel like a lot of good men and good women are kind of looked over because of that first step. But I do understand, because you do have to be attracted to your mate in some type of way.
So when you say good men and good women, you mean like good on the inside?
No, I feel like, especially for myself, because I had this conversation with one of my single friends a lot. Like, I just feel like there are, she always say, I'm not attracted to him. But then I look and I'm like, man, I think that dude got like some really good qualities.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you want Denzel Washington who's gonna treat you bad, or do you want somebody who you can grow to love and don't
settle
treat you right? Settle.
I mean,
settle. No, not settle.
I know personally, I have 2 friends. They like larger women only. How about that? That's all they like. Like if you are small, they're not even trying to mess with you. They're not even trying to talk to you.
Yeah.
Like they prefer bigger women. And then I got a lot of friends, they prefer a woman with a very nice body.
Right.
But then sometimes we look at ourselves and be like, well, we ain't got no nice body.
Right, exactly.
How we expect to get some?
Yeah. So I feel like sometimes, we want things from people that we don't have, and that's not right. Yeah. So I just want to take a minute though. Like, as you tune in, would you share the live? And we want you all to interact with us also. So I have access where I can see the comments. So if we're talking about anything and you feel like, oh, I don't feel that way, just make a comment and we'll get to them. All right, so well, that's good. That's good. Okay, so I read a lot and I watch a lot of videos. Like I study a lot of things. And so one time I was reading this ad, and it was talking about that men want a woman who's independent. But then it also switched over, like it followed up with men, like they want to feel needed.
Right.
And so to me, after I finished reading that ad, honestly, I was confused because I was like, okay, do you want us to be independent? Do you want us to need you? Like, what do you want from us? So I want you all just to kind of break it down. You know, what kind of things do you all feel like we should not ask you all to do? Like, what areas do you want us to be independent in? And then what areas do you feel like, okay, I need to know that you need me with
right,
this. So.
Right. Yeah. So I'm gonna let you start with that. I'm gonna let you start with that.
He's my boy, man.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say, I like an independent woman.
Mm-hmm.
I do like an independent woman. I don't want a person that just need me though. You know,
yeah.
I don't think that a woman, in a sense, should just need and just depend only on a man.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, definitely would prefer her to be independent in most of the areas in her life. Yeah,
Okay.
you know. I mean, now I guess when it comes to our relationship, I mean, definitely share with me. You know, keep me included, keep me involved with your life, but not to the point to where you need me. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. So like, I want somebody to kind of like tell me what areas, like specifically, where do you want us to be independent at? You know, like where does it make a really difference? Like, oh, my woman got to be independent right here.
Yeah. So let me say this. You know, in 2020, the role of men and women are changing.
Yes.
Right. And so now you have a lot of women who are in the workplace, you know what I'm saying, who make more money than men, right? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You have a lot of men who are, they're men in the sense of the word of, they were biologically born a man, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But in the sense of, I'm gonna get up every day and I'm gonna take care of my family and I'm gonna make sure my family got what they need, and if I gotta work 2 jobs or do whatever I gotta do, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. You know, that's changing a lot, you know what I'm saying, in the sense of you know, men being, you know, what a man was when I was growing up. You know, you took care of your family, you did what you had to do to take care of your family. And so I think now we get to a place to where, you know, men they don't wanna do what they gotta do sometimes, but they want all the respect and they want all the, you know what I'm saying? And so I think that's something that's earned, you know what I mean? Like I want my wife to let me know that she appreciate me, you know what I'm saying? But I'm out here getting it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm earning that appreciation. You know what I'm saying?
Some men want to feel like that.
Yeah. If you playing video games, you know what I'm saying, and not get, you know what I'm saying, then you know what I'm saying, you don't need that, you know what I'm saying? But if your wife driving a new Lexus and she ain't got to work, you know what I'm saying, and you know what I'm saying, you put in, you know what I'm saying, hey, I want some bad water ran, you know what I'm saying? I want some food on the stove, you know what I'm saying?
So basically you saying that you are paying the cost to be the boss.
Yeah, and I don't think that's a financial thing. Like, I don't think that's attached to finances. I think that's you know, a lot of things, right? I think that's leading your family in Christ. I think that's you know, making sure your kids are being respectful and doing things. I think it's a lot bigger picture to being a man than just bringing home a check. But I also think that when you do all those things, you know what I'm saying, that I personally think sometimes that women who have good men and who do those things, they're so used to getting it that they don't really appreciate it because they're just so used to getting it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so from a man perspective, sometimes you just want to hear, hey man, hey, I appreciate you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Thank you. You know what I'm saying? For not being a loser.
Right. So I get that because I've had, you know, a number of people, I've heard them say, you know, why do you thank him for something that he should be doing anyway? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I hear that a lot, but I guess my take on that is that, like you should just set an example. he take the kids to school. So, you know, sometimes I'm like, babe, thank you for taking the kids to school. And so then you have some women who feel like, well, why would you thank him for doing it? Like, he should be doing it anyway. You have to take his kids to school. But I guess my reasoning for just showing appreciation with that is because, yeah, he should do it, but look at how many men are not doing it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
and there's nothing wrong. There is nothing wrong with showing appreciation to someone and showing that you're grateful for who they are, even if it is something that they're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing wrong with being grateful in your heart or thankful and appreciative for what people do for you, whether that's your husband or anybody else for that matter. But you know, I was reading a book and it said most women they want security. That's the most important thing to them is that they feel secure, know that they're going to be taken care of. And the thing that men want most is appreciation. To know that they're appreciated. You know what I'm saying? And so to answer your question, I think that yes, we do want women who don't need us for absolutely every single thing, but we also don't want a woman who's trying to be the man either.
All right.
Yeah.
So what do you? That's good. So what do you mean about a woman who's not trying to be the man? You know, like that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. You said
Yeah. Because okay, so so a lot of times people get married, and just naturally one person is more aggressive or more get up and go in them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And maybe more educated. Maybe you got a woman who's just more educated than her husband, and maybe she does make more money than him just by the job that she chose to do. Just because I make more money than you don't mean I work harder than you.
Right. Exactly.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so don't treat me like I'm some second class citizen in the household because you make $50,000 more than I do. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm still the man now just because you make more money than me. But at the same time, again, that's to a man who is actually going out there and working every day, and a man who's is providing for it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I think sometimes women feel like, well, you know what I'm saying, I'm making more than you. You know what I'm saying? So you can't tell me nothing.
So look, okay, let me intervene right there because sometimes I feel like men feel that way too. You know, like the men who are the bread winners in the house. Like sometimes I feel like they feel like, well, I'm making more than you. You can't say nothing to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that would be me. I think that sounds like me.
But it's just right.
Yeah, so right. So you're right. So I think over time, like I done evolved out of, probably not out of that completely. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you still got a little bit of that in me, you know what I'm saying, to a certain extent, but probably 15 years ago, you know what I mean, that was me 100%. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you know what I mean? I don't want to hear nothing about nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so, no, it's not right. To answer your question, that's not right. Yeah, that's not right. Like we should be equal. 50, we should be 50, 100, 100. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We should both put 100% in, right?
Right.
So I would like to comment on that.
Okay.
So from one perspective, a man is designed to lead.
Mm-hmm.
So in a sense, if my woman steps in, kind of gets in that, is
in my
she
role.
about to, yeah. So pretty much like know your role, but not in a disrespectful way.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially when you have a young man or just a man in general trying to figure this thing out, and trying to get there. And so if I'm doing my part and I'm headed towards being that leader in the household, if I make a mistake or something, don't just try to come in and take over.
Right.
Because we all make mistakes in every aspect of life. It's about learning from those mistakes and then pushing forward after that.
Right. That's good. So do you feel like, you're saying know your role. That's good. But, and then you're saying about leading, but that's really good because I do feel like a man should lead. But, sometimes women are looking back, like we're sitting back and we do supposed to allow our husbands, our men to lead. But if we really feel strongly about, I don't think that's a good idea. You know what I'm saying? Like, is it disrespectful? Because I know men are all about respect.
No. That's where you have a conversation and talk to your husband. Yeah. So I'm gonna give y'all an example. Let me give y'all an example right here. You know what I'm saying? You got two people, right? You got a husband who want to go to church here.
Right.
You got a wife who want to go to church here. Just take you and Cam, for instance. When y'all first came to our church, Cam was coming. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't coming. Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? You was like, I ain't going to that church. You know what I'm saying? And that might not have been nothing to do with the church. It might have been, you know, whatever, you and him, whatever. But so, you know, and so I want to hear y'all comments on this. I mean, what do you think about when a man decides he want to go to church somewhere? Should his wife follow him to church?
Right.
Even if he's not being the father that he should be at home, or maybe the husband he should be at home. Well, he makes a decision to say, I want to go to New Generation Church. And his wife say, I don't want to go there. Or if the wife say, I want to go to New Generation Church, and the husband don't want to go there, how should we handle that? What should we do about that?
Right.
And I want to see, you know, what y'all comments are, what y'all think about that.
Yeah, that's
because that's the thing that really goes on right now. You got one person who want to go to one church, another person who want to go to another church, or you got one person who go to church, and another person who don't go to church. The person who don't go to church don't want the other person going to a certain church for certain reasons. And so I want to speak for all y'all other men out there. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to tell y'all what to do in y'all house, but I'm gonna just tell you how I go down where I live. My wife gotta follow me.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Next question. Next question.
Right. But you're okay with her, you know, I want to just go back to this.
Yeah, okay.
You're okay with her, you know, you expect her to follow you, which is good, like I said. But, you know, sometimes we see things that y'all don't see. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes we see things
of course.
So it's okay for her to sit down and be like,
yeah, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. I don't think it's a good idea. So what y'all are saying, it's all about how we present it to you.
Right.
And for me, it's just say it. Just speak it. I mean, we have to have a conversation.
Right.
I think, so a challenge that I deal with my wife is that I ask my wife, hey, just tell me what you want, or just speak up and just tell me what you want. You know, if you speak it, then we can have a conversation about it. And then that also lets you know what kind of man you're dealing with. Because if I can't even let you express your opinion, then what kind of environment am I providing for you?
Right.
So, I mean, we have to be able to talk through challenges, talk through differences and all that. But at the end of the day, though, I mean, you know,
you going to church with me. At the end of the day, get in the car.
Okay, so you said a lot of good things, and it's some of the topics that I have here.
Right.
So let's go to, I heard you say, you know, about the 50-50 or 100-100,
right.
You know, men bringing in the most money, or
right.
sometimes women bring in more money. Let's talk about chores.
Right.
Around the house, you know, because I know a lot of people are on this kick where a lot of men feel like it's a woman's responsibility to do all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna wash no dishes, I'm not gonna clean no toilet, I'm not gonna vacuum. Like, that's your job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like, if your woman has it, not even okay. So if she has a job outside of the home,
right,
and she's bringing in equally, she's contributing to the bill,
right.
Like, do you all not feel like that you all should help?
Okay, so let me answer this one.
Okay.
Let me answer this one. I got to answer this one.
Listen.
Yeah, so I think most people's perspective is based on how they grew up.
Okay.
What they seen in their own house, or what they seen their mother do, what they seen their father do. If they seen their father cut the grass, then they think, as a man, I'm supposed to cut the grass. If their mama worked, came home, cooked every day, washed clothes, clean, I think that's our perspective. That's our viewpoint. That's where, you know what I'm saying, that's how we grew up. So here's my perspective on this. You know what I'm saying? And I've really been blessed. You know what I'm saying? In my relationship with my wife, because she's never had a problem working. You know, she hasn't always worked. She's never had a problem working.
Right.
And even in her working, I joke about it a lot. But even in her working, she's always cleaned the house. She's always took care of things in the house. As an adult, my perspective was always that the woman take care inside the house and the man take care outside the house.
Yeah.
Here's where I think the problem come in, and this is why I'm so thankful for my mother. Is I think a lot of y'all got a bunch of lazy kids that don't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I think that a lot of the things that the arguments that the man and woman's having with each other, it shouldn't be an argument, because I think your lazy kids ought to be doing it.
Right.
Your kids ought to be washing dishes. Your kids ought to be folding clothes.
Yeah.
Your kids ought to be cleaning the toilets. And you see what I'm saying? So to answer your question, I think when your kids get old enough to walk, that they ought to start learning how to clean the toilet and sweep them out the floor and vacuum. That's what my mama did for me, and I turned out lovely.
Yeah. So now that you are an adult, you know, and you have kids and
Right.
everything, but even when your children were smaller,
Right.
like, did you feel the need to step in and help your wife with some of those chores?
You know, my kid, again,
Before they could do all of this.
right. So again, my wife, just always done those things, but I worked a lot, and I think she knew that I worked a lot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, but to answer your question, probably not. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I will cook and I'll wash dishes and stuff like that, but you know what I'm saying? I cook a lot, but me, as far as me washing dishes and stuff like that don't happen ever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There are some things that I did as a child, I did so much that I'm never gonna do it again. Like, I'm just not gonna do it again. Like if my wife don't want to do it, I'm gonna pay somebody to do it. Like, I'm just not doing it. I did it so much that I'm just, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I probably didn't help change the diapers and stuff like that. Yeah, of course I did that, but helping her clean up and stuff like that, I probably never did that as much. But here's the thing, like, you know, when my kids were smaller, our house was a lot smaller.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when my kids got old enough to clean up and help clean up and stuff, my house was a lot bigger, so we
Right.
needed, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But, you know, to answer your question, probably no, I probably didn't help her, you know what I'm saying? And she might have wanted me to, but she
Yeah.
never asked me to.
So all right, so to me there's a historical piece to this. 50, 60 years ago, women couldn't even work or get a job to the point to where it was even worth it.
Right.
You know, that's just the history of our country.
Right.
So, I mean, they had to put in, you know, laws and acts and all that type of stuff to get women equal rights.
And they
So
said,
back then, I mean, the man was the breadwinner. The man had to make the money. So the woman was, in a sense, just kind of confined to the household and taking care of the house.
Right. Yeah.
Now, though, now it ain't like that.
Right.
You got women CEOs, you got women that make more money than men. So the whole perspective has changed. So that attitude needs to die with the change of perspective.
Right. Yeah, I do. I feel like that. I do feel like it needs to die a little bit, because I can understand your point of view, Pastor, because if you worked a lot, you know what I'm saying, and your wife didn't work as much, then
Yeah.
she's home, so she
Yeah.
can do that. But if you have a couple where both of them get up, go to work,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, like both of them
What if
have
it's
hard
vice versa?
days,
What if the woman is working and the man ain't?
then the man needs to be at home cleaning up.
And
Like, you shouldn't wait for your wife to-
I lived in that situation where my mom worked but her husband didn't work. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I lived in that situation. So, you know, should dinner be done when she get home? And I'm in agreement with Dylan. Like, I feel like if I but so let's look at my situation, for instance,
Okay.
right?
All right.
So my wife would go to the hospital 3 days a week, right? And a lot of days I would work from home because I'm in a position now where I can work from home. Where I might take 2 or 3 days and never leave the house. You see what I'm saying? She come home, the bed still don't be made.
Right.
Cause I've been in the bed all day. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so should I be cooking and cleaning?
I feel like
Even though I'm bringing home, all, 90% of the bacon.
right, so I feel like you should do something.
Oh, okay. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
if
I
she's
just wanna
out,
know.
she's working. Like, I do feel like you should do something.
Okay.
But let's keep this.
I guess though, if the wife is working and the man is working and both y'all tired physically,
Yeah.
Right.
which both y'all got the right to,
Yeah.
then you may just need to hire somebody to come
Yeah.
and clean up.
Or come together, you know, and that's where I think the biggest problem in relationships, whether it be single people or married people, is communication, right? That's where, you have to come together and say, look, babe, I know, this and that, but I just need some help here or there. If you can, you know what I'm saying? And I think most people who actually want to be together, love each other, and like each other, they're willing to come to a compromise on how, you know what I'm saying, they feel about that.
Right. So we have Austin Coates who said kids need to help around the house as much as possible. That's true, Austin. That's one thing, like, seriously, that's an argument Cam and I used to have.
Yeah.
Because I used to get mad at him, like, why you only took out the trash? And he's like, you got a half-grown son that's sitting in the
Right,
room. Like, he
right.
need to go, he need to go take out the trash.
Mhm.
So I do agree with that, Austin. Like, kids, they do need to help out around the house as much as possible. That's good. So let's go back. I'm just going to take a break and read through some of these comments because, Pastor, you asked the question about, should the woman follow
Right, her husband.
the husband, right? Especially like with the church. And so I'm so proud of my husband. He said something really good. So I want everybody to know this came from my husband.
Oh,
He said,
hubby.
he said if the man or woman is going to church seeking God in a better relationship with God, the rest will fall in place. If they are not, then I don't think the spouse will follow them.
Wow.
So that, yep,
That's
really
good. Good comment, Cam.
Yeah, that's a really good comment.
Well, who your pastor?
And so let's see, Naquisha, she chimed in and it's talking about the chores. She asked, let's see, should men also participate in daily chores around the house as well as be the helping hand with the kids when both parents work? So I think we kind of addressed it. That's a good question.
Good question.
Really, really good question. And then she came back, oh, Naquisha, you a little feisty something. She came back and she said, sometimes a man expects a woman to take lead in certain things a man should do. But at what point should she not when the man has been looking to her to do certain things in the past? Then he get upset when she continues to take lead in other things.
Right. That's so that's great.
That's good.
That's great.
That's a good one.
And so on what Amar said earlier, I want to address that. So we had a men's class we were doing on Sunday evenings at the church where we were doing a series called Authentic Manhood, and then we would leave there and we would go bowling and just all, the men would just hang out. And so I did a poll of the men that was in the room, and it was like 50-something years of prison between the men that was in the room. Each man had an average of 5 years in prison. And only 20% of the men in the room grew up with their fathers. So, what's her name? Naquisha. Naquisha, here's the issue I think that we have right now, is that a lot of men, African American men especially, didn't grow up with their fathers, and so they have a distorted view of what a man really looks like. They don't understand what a man really looks like, right? And so what it's going to take is for us to get those men in church around godly men, and let us show them through the Word of God what it looks like to lead, what it looks like to be a real man and a godly man. And that doesn't mean do what I say. That's not what it means to lead. Do what I say that's not what it means to be to lead your family in Christ. And so I believe in order for us to get our black men back to a place where we understand what it is to lead our families and to lead in relationships, we have to connect them with other men who understand what that looks like. But what I can tell you is for black women to dog out your man, your boyfriend, or your husband, to dog him out to other people and say what he's not doing or how he's not doing that's not going to solve your problem.
Right.
And so let's we have a solution to the problem, and it's for all of us to look to the Word of God and see what God is saying to us about what leadership looks like. So that's a great question, and we see that often, men not knowing what it looks like to lead.
Right, that's true.
I think in the question I kind of heard, it sounded like there's at one point the man was like, he asked his woman to do something, and then it kind of seemed like he didn't want her to do it no more.
Right.
To me that just sounded like a breakdown in communication.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's certain things I don't like to do, and I be like, hey Tasia, this ain't me.
Yeah.
I need you to handle that, and then she'll handle it. But I guess if I decide that one day I want to get more involved, then I need to sit down and have a conversation.
Right.
And just,
so communication is important. We have Chiquita who said, never devalue your spouse because he makes less than you. So that's good. I don't think this woman or the man should do that because they make more money. So that's good. Okay, so let's switch topics. I want to talk about, so I was watching Family Feud one time. And I forget what the question was exactly, but it was just, kind of asking, like, what are some of the things that a man look for in a woman? And so, like, it was very surprising, but I think it was like either number one and number two was for their woman to be low maintenance. So tell me what exactly is low maintenance? You know, because
I
I
don't agree
think,
with that.
yeah,
I don't
because
agree with that.
I think, you know, some
Yeah.
people,
Well,
yeah,
talk to
Dylan,
this. Talk to
Dylan,
this.
let me-
So what you mean?
Well, by low maintenance, like what do you mean by low
That's
maintenance?
what
right,
that's what she asked. That's
I'm
what she asked
What
you.
does that mean?
Think about it. I think that when they say low maintenance, that they're saying someone who is not wrapped up around materialistic things,
Okay.
right? That's what comes to mind for me. Is that somebody who, you know, who every week they got to go buy a dress, or they got to every time a new phone come out, they got to get a new phone. You know what I'm saying? I use my phone until it don't come on no more. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what number I got, but I know it ain't the latest number. What is it? 6, 7, something? Yeah. It ain't. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time, the people who don't have the money is the ones who need all the new stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know. So when I hear low maintenance, I mean honestly, when I hear low maintenance, I think about my wife because she don't really need a lot. You know what I'm saying? Every now and then, man, she may ask me for something, but for the mommy now she like to shop, but it's not to a place to where it puts our family in jeopardy. You know, and you know, I know she orders stuff that she think I don't know she ordered. You know what I'm saying? But that's cool because you know what I'm saying because she don't need a lot. She don't ask for a lot. You know what I'm saying? And so you know, like Christmas last year, I bought her a car. But I bought her a car. I bought her a 2015 car, and it was like 2018. You know what I'm saying? Could I have afforded to went buy her a brand new car? Yes, I could have. But she was appreciative of that car like it was a 2020 in 2018.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because I know, you know, that buying a brand new car is not a wise thing to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you know, I think low maintenance. I think about a person who don't need a whole lot of things materialistically. But that doesn't mean that they don't want anything out of life. That just means that their life is not revolving around every new thing that comes out. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think about when I think about low
What
maintenance.
is your take on that?
I think Jermaine covered that real good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like with men, I feel like a lot of men like are lazy and they don't want to spoil their women, so they want somebody that's low maintenance, so they don't have to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like nowadays a lot of men don't want to spoil their women.
Right.
That's
So they want somebody that's low maintenance, so they can continue to be lazy.
That's good. So they don't have to spend money. So you don't have to ask for a lot of stuff.
that's a good perspective. You know what I
That
mean?
is. So me, I like gifts. You know, I don't like it doesn't have to be Gucci or
Sentimental.
all of that stuff.
Be a
Mercedes.
card, a flower.
Yeah, like I like gifts. So I mean, and then like on every holiday, I expect to have a gift. And if I don't have a gift, then I feel some type of way.
So you say every holiday? What's
Yeah, like Christmas.
Saturday?
Right. So see,
Saturday holidays?
No.
Oh.
So like Christmas,
Uh-huh.
and then my birthday's in January.
Okay.
I want a gift.
Okay, yeah.
And then the next month, February, we got Valentine's Day. I
Okay.
feel like I need a gift.
Okay.
So does that make me high maintenance? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not.
No,
I'm not
three times a year. I don't think that's how I make it. But also, let me say this. Let me also say this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and you know, y'all might disagree with this. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like if I buy you a car, you know what I'm saying? Like not like so let me try to get this. You know, y'all understand what I'm trying to say? Okay.
Okay.
See, most men, when they buy their wives a car, they also have a car note.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Which she is helping him pay.
Hey, right.
So to me, you didn't buy your wife no car.
Right. This one got a bill.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But if I buy you a car, and with that car comes the title, I deserve a break for a little while. That's how I feel. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Don't look for me
Right.
for a little while.
I see that.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
can see it.
that's how. You know, that's what I'm trying to say.
Big difference.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
know what I'm
it's a
saying?
real big deal.
Yeah, and that's a real gift because I didn't say, well, hey, the payment on this gonna be $600 a month. I'm gonna pay $3. You gonna pay $3. That ain't no. You know what I'm saying? That ain't no gift.
Right, we're gonna go 50-50.
Yeah, that ain't no gift to
Yeah.
me anyway.
Right, yeah, I like gifts. So You on here, you watching. I don't know what holiday coming up, but I like gifts. But one thing about me, like I never ask him to buy me something, you know, for one, something that I wouldn't be able to afford myself. You know what I'm saying? So like, if I know that I don't have the money or I'm not capable of making the money to buy a Louis purse, like I'm not gonna expect him to bring me a Louis purse.
Like going back to what you said about needy women and independent women, I feel like that's what we mean by independent. We mean somebody that can get it if they need to get it, and they can get it on their own.
Right.
We don't want somebody that wants something from us that they couldn't do for themselves.
Right. That's good. That's good. Okay, so let's talk about freedom, because this is a big deal with men. Freedom. You know, a lot of men, they just feel like that they need their time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just need some me time. Like women, they need me time too. But I see how some men take freedom to another level, right? So does it make it bad for if you're going out the house for you? Does it, you know, take too much for you to say, oh, I'll be back? You know what I'm saying?
Or where you going?
Yeah, where you going?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or something like that. And then when you do get your freedom, like, can you take it to the extent that you are staying overnight somewhere? Now, I see one person.
You done went way out the
Yeah.
So they doing that out here?
No, seriously, I can understand, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
If it's a job, it's a job,
right.
but if it's just a hobby and you're going and you staying overnight places and you expect for, you know, your wife to be fine with that, but if she's not, is that okay? You know, like how is that like invading like your freedom by your wife saying, I don't think that you should be going to spend the night with? So let's just talk about freedom, you know what I'm saying? Like what do you all expect? Like what are the expectations of women with you all's freedom?
Well, you know, I want a certain level of respect from someone that I'm in a relationship with, you know what I'm saying? And so I really think that we should give what we expect.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So we should give what we expect. And so just take, you know, me personally, you know, I don't need to know where my wife is going. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to know. I ain't saying I don't care. I'm just saying I don't need to know. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't need to know. But she tell me, right? You know what I'm saying? She tell me. And so because she was telling me, I started telling her just because she was telling me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't need to know where she was going. You know what I'm saying? And so I was kind of like, you know, I ain't got to. I'm gone. I'll be back, but I not no overnight. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, I need to find that book, read that book about how I can do that. Right? I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I mean, I'm saying like even going to work or going to the store or something like that. I definitely would not leave and be gone over 7-8 hours and she don't know what's going on. But unless I'm at work, you know what I'm saying? But I just started saying where I was going just because she always made a habit or point to tell me. And so I felt like that was important to her. You know what I'm saying? Even though she didn't say that was important, you know, I try to say, hey, I'm going here, I'm going to do this, I got to do that. You know what I'm saying? Just because I know, you know what I'm saying, that's probably important. And especially like if you ever had trust issues in your relationship.
Right, yes, yes.
You know, you need to kind of prepare for war while at peace.
Right.
So, you know, just do those things because you don't want to leave any room in there for someone to think something negative or, you know what I'm saying, because the very smallest little things of uncertainty or distrust can lead to something very, very big, especially when communication is bad. You start thinking one thing and then it just grows in your mind and grows and grows and grows until, you know what I'm saying, you know, you understand what I'm saying.
Right. So how do you feel like that? You know, do you feel like it's wrong for not putting curfew on you? You know what I'm saying? But like, do you feel like it's wrong for a woman to be like, I feel like, you know, you coming in at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, not really.
That's communication.
You know what I'm saying? But just say what if we talk about that, right? If you and I are together and we talk about that.
I mean, you know who you married though.
But that's not you know, people trying to stay married. You see what I'm saying? And so you can't yes, we all know who we married, you know what I'm saying? But in every relationship, there's growth, right? There's evolving, and when you grow up, the Bible says when I was a child, I did childish things. But now that I'm an adult, I'm gonna have to handle things like an adult.
Right.
Now, you know what I'm saying? You know that you can't be married and act like you're single.
Right.
That's just what it is. Like if my wife don't want me coming at 3 o'clock in the morning and I want to stay married, then I don't need to be coming at 3 o'clock in the morning. If I don't mind being divorced, then just keep coming in at 3.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But like we all have to give what we want. Like I don't want my wife coming at 3 a.m. You know what I'm saying? From wherever. You know what I'm saying? And that ain't gonna happen too many times in my house.
Yeah, so with that, Miss Hogan said
Ever in life.
overnight must not be coming back here, so she ain't playing. And then we have Brittany who said, right, they'll be homeless. And so then we have Miss Sheila Turner who said your key don't fit that lock anymore if you come into her house. That time of morning. I hear you, ladies. I agree.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Okay. So what men want from a woman, right? Like what y'all need from a woman. Let's talk about. We talked a little bit when we started off about when you first see a woman, what's the first thing you see. So I want to dig into it a little more. Let's talk about dress code. You know what I'm saying? Like let's talk about appearance, like attraction.
Right.
I'm gonna tell a little story. One time this just made me realize how different men are, and I think it could just be your preference. But one time a group of us, like a group of our friends, we were gonna go to Hot Springs and just chill out on the boat on the lake, jet skis. And so I had a friend who called me and she was like, what time you wanna go look for a bathing suit? Her man wanted her to go get a nice swimsuit because we were gonna be in water and all of that. And then my husband was like, let's go to the turtleneck aisle. Let's find you a nice big turtleneck with some jeans and some boots. You know what I'm saying? So what kind of, talk to me about that. Like, what do you all feel like, how do you all feel, what do you feel about that with your women? With dressing and stuff. Like, what do you want from her?
I think go ahead. You go ahead. Go ahead.
Dress code, I mean, I prefer for my woman to look good. So, I mean, whatever it takes, whatever she needs to get what she needs to get to look good, go for it. The bathing suit thing, I can understand that. I mean, you don't want everybody just drooling all over your woman the whole time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I can definitely understand, he may, or any man may have some reservations on, you jumping out in a two-piece, you know what I'm saying? So, I can definitely see that.
Dylan, what's your take on that?
Man, I feel like I don't want to say you know what you're getting into when you get a woman, but I feel like she needs to do what it takes to make her feel good, but at the same time, like she don't need to be all out there with the nipples hanging out and stuff like that, because there's girls that wear see-through swimsuits and stuff like that, but at the same time, like you should allow her to wear something to where she feels confident.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel.
Mr. Harris. Pastor.
Yeah. So
how do you feel about that?
So we go on vacation a lot. And we go to warm places, you know what I'm saying? We fly, change the forecast, you know what I'm saying? Travel first class, change the forecast, you know what I'm saying? We do that. And my wife, she what's the word I used earlier? Shapy. She's a shapy woman, you know what I'm saying? She wear a two-piece or whatever, but for me, I think like it's about the relationship you have with the person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now, if you with somebody who is known to be easy and to be in the cheat and to be easily moved by men saying slick stuff, then yeah, I would probably struggle with that. You know what I'm saying? If the person you with, you confident this person wants you and love you and only want you and only gonna be with you, then I don't see why it's an issue, because at the end of the day, you ain't got nothing to worry about,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's about, you know what I'm saying, they all about you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I think if you got somebody who may questionably not all be all about you, then yeah, then I can see how that would be an issue. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you know, if she feel comfortable in it, if she look in the mirror and she cool walking out the door with it, who am I?
Yeah. You know, so, all right, so in that situation, the wife being a two-piece, I think some of it got to do with, you know, well, what happens if somebody say something inappropriate?
Right.
That I got to deal with.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you're going to start looking at me or even just me as a person, you know, now what am I supposed to do? You know what I'm saying? So sometimes
like
it may be
disrespectful, like guys saying disrespectful stuff.
So, I may not feel like getting in this situation. I may be like, you know, probably not for this situation. You know?
Right,
Probably I ain't got time to be going through all that.
Yeah.
And man, and this is a thing right here, like, and this is my thing, like I think people just so, people are just like so sensitive now. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's so sensitive. Men so weak. Like if your wife is attractive and she on the beach and she ain't got no wedding band on her finger, she the two. Yeah, people are gonna look and they might.
And that's what I was gonna
say. They might say something. But that's okay.
Yeah.
But that's okay. That's okay. That's okay because at the end of the day, she ain't going with them. She going with you. So what's wrong with that? For somebody whistling or say, hey, they seen an attractive woman and they just like you.
You do the same thing and you went with her.
They just like you. You know what I'm saying? So that's, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like who want a woman that don't nobody else want?
Yeah, that's
You know what I'm saying? Like yeah. You got a woman that don't nobody else want. And you might need to check your own brain out.
So we have Mr. Greer. He said a two-piece to the grocery store and all. He said, but I wouldn't have a problem for my wife to wear it to a swimming occasion.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so what about just to dig into that a little bit more? You know, do men feel like they want their women to be more natural? You know what I'm saying? Like if I meet you and I have makeup, because I don't wear makeup personally. It's just because I grew up and I couldn't do it in my mama's household, so it just stuck with me. I just never.
That's the answer,
so I never did. So is that okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, does a man feel like I don't want my woman in makeup? You know what I'm saying? Or if your woman feel like maybe she don't need it, but she just want to wear it, you know, because it makes her feel better about herself. Like, is that okay? Like, what are y'all's take on like makeup, weave, and all of that?
Well, my wife don't really wear makeup, but I just told her I don't think she needed it. You know what I'm saying? But if she did, if she want to wear, that's up to her. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think she needed it. You know what I'm saying? That's her decision. As far as weave, I don't like it at all. Like I don't. That's not my preference. Like I just don't like, weave. But if she decides she want to get some, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna be the end of the world. You know what I'm saying? But I personally don't like it. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to go home. Like, let's just say my son, like, he meets somebody, you know what I'm saying? And then, by the time they pop their eyelashes off,
yeah, that's my
take their hair off, take their nails off, take their fake titties off.
Yeah.
Can I say that off?
You say it.
You know what I'm saying? Then take their booty out. By the time they do all that, you know what I'm saying? You got a whole different person, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like I feel like this is really how I feel like when I look in the mirror, you know what I'm saying, like I feel okay with who I am. And so I mean I just think, it's nothing wrong with you know what I'm saying, it's nothing wrong with dressing up a little bit, but at the same time I think they just taking it too far now. Like
you can turn a man into a woman with makeup.
Yeah, like be okay with like who you are. Like the eyelashes that God gave you, like they beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like I just feel like, man, people are beautiful in who they are, and more so from the inside out. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I just want a person to love me for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But that wouldn't be a deal breaker.
No, it wouldn't be.
If y'all are going on a date and
I
want to try something new, I'm gonna give my face beat.
No.
Like, it's cool with you.
No, I'm gonna just tell most of y'all women out there today, if you want to try something new, go to Victoria's Secret. We more interested in that than makeup and wig and eyelashes. Victoria's Secrets.
Okay, what? Do you have anything to say?
I do.
You
I feel like it's like he said, it's up to the woman to decide like if she want to do that and if that's what she need to feel confident. But at the end of the day, like we don't want what you look like with all the makeup on. We want what you look like without it. So if I meet you and your face beat and then we go to the crib and you take all that off and you like a totally different person, like that's kind of like,
because all that stuff that ain't for us, that's for other people.
Right.
You doing that for other people, you ain't doing it for me because I see what you look like when you wake up in the morning.
and
That's for everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's good. So let's see. Brittany said you are a preaching pastor. Let's see. Naquisha, she said, do you feel women are being too sensitive if their man is fish eyeing another woman while with their woman? It's deep.
that's funny.
Everybody speak. Naquisha, they are speaking.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Well, let me just say this. Man, when I think about women, God is just amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like he, created us and it's a lot of beautiful women in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like I heard my wife say before, man, that's a pretty, man, she's really pretty. And not in a, sexual sense of the word, just a pretty, you know what I'm saying? So
Even a compliment.
yeah, so I mean, there is a lot of really, really pretty women in the world, you know what I'm saying? And for me, I think, it's like seeing a pretty car that you drive by. It's okay to glance, you know what I'm saying? But it's when you fall over the stairs or something. You know what I'm saying? When you know what I'm saying? This right here, that right there, that's cool. It's this right here.
Yeah, just being totally disrespectful.
Yeah.
And my thing is, I feel like it's a vice versa. Like, how would you feel if she was doing that?
Yeah.
Right.
She was staring at her guy.
Yeah, so Mrs. Greer said, now Pastor, don't do us. Wig wearing people. Sometimes it's just convenient for us. In my profession, wearing wig is convenient for myself. That's totally understandable.
Yeah, that's understandable. You know what I'm saying? It's just right now, we're just talking about our individual preferences, right?
Exactly.
And so, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you got to do what you got to do, and whoever that is, her husband or her boyfriend, she, that's her business. You know what I'm saying? That's her business. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying for me and my wife,
right?
You know what I'm saying? My individual preference is not that.
Natural.
Yeah,
Right.
it's natural. You know what I'm saying? But I'm okay. My kids wear wig. They got wigs. You know what I mean? Like, it's just that's the society we living in right now. You know what I'm saying? But for my wife, if she want to wear a wig to work, cool. Just leave it in the car.
We have Mr. Dancy said it's okay to look, but don't take too long. Okay, so we're gonna turn it up a notch, but we're still keeping it PG.
Gangsta.
Yeah. So, okay, one day I was on my way to work and I was listening to Power 92 and there was a PPP and a man was upset because, he called in, he was upset because he said that he didn't feel like that his wife, he didn't feel like they were intimate as they used to be.
Right.
Like, she just kind of had turned down
Right.
like 90%.
Right.
And so there were a lot of people who were calling in and was like, well, if he go out and cheat, then she can't say anything. So, how important?
Oh man.
Yeah, like they were going in. But how important is that, to y'all? Like, I feel like a lot of women, we work a lot, we have to deal with the kids, like we have a lot of things going on. So do y'all just feel like every time y'all feel the need that we should just roll over with a smile and it's okay? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, he ain't married yet, so he ain't gonna answer this question. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? Yeah, he's still a virgin. Yeah, he's still a virgin, y'all. So he wait till he get married. This is my son. He wait till he get married, so he ain't gonna answer this question.
Right.
Yeah. And if he ain't, he gonna act like he is.
He is today.
Yeah, he is today.
So, make sure I'm clear. We're talking about sex.
Yes, we are.
Okay, so my thoughts on sex. Yes, sex is definitely needed in a relationship. you yeah, it has to happen. I mean, I can only share my personal experience. I mean, if I'm really asking for sex and I got to keep on asking for it, I'm probably asking for it because I need it. I mean, it's real out here. I mean, it's a lot of temptation out here. So if I need to have sex, I need to have sex. Now, I have heard the thing, just exactly what you said. So that confirms to me that it's like a national type thing, right? You get tired dealing with the kids. You've been to work all day, and I ain't gonna lie,
it's a national thing.
Right.
All the women tired.
Nationwide.
All the women tired.
I ain't gonna lie, I was very insensitive today because it didn't make no sense to me because I'm tired too, but I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? So I was very insensitive to that. But I had to grow to kind of get an understanding, but at the same time, again, if I'm asking for it, and I think if most husbands is asking for sex for their wife, they probably ask it because they really need it.
Okay.
And they're trying to prevent some things from happening.
I kind of a part of me want to just move on after.
Now this is the best part of the conversation.
After my answer, I kind of want to move on. I'm looking to my right.
Yeah. So, I want to say, that 95% of heterosexual married men, because I can't speak for the other side. Yes, I don't speak for them. I can't speak for me. 95% of heterosexual married men are tempted to cheat. I believe that. I believe 95% of heterosexual men
It's a big percentage.
are tempted to cheat. And I believe the other 5% that's not tempted to cheat, it don't work no more. Yeah, that's what I think.
Why do you feel like that?
So because every man I talk to, every married man I talk to, is so let me say this, right? So let me say this, like Satan don't stop because you get married.
Right.
Like he don't stop. Like John 10:10, but the thief comes but to kill, steal, and destroy.
Mm-hmm.
That marriages are included in that, right? So men are tempted to cheat. So here's what I want to say. Most women, they know their man, they know their husband, they know their boyfriend, whoever it is. They know who he is. They know how often he likes sex. They know all those things. You know what I'm saying? They know if he's very sexually, his sex drive is high, if it's low, or whatever the case is. You know who you with, right? So, and I just said men are tempted. You know what I'm saying, by women and different things. And I'll even go a step farther and say if your man is attractive, you know he's attractive, or if he's very successful in certain areas in life, then the temptation may be greater. You know what I'm saying? We have another conversation, or we just okay, all right, yeah. So in saying that, in saying what I just said, the temptation is out there, right? And it's not going to go away. Because Satan is not going to stop coming to tempt us, right? So imagine this. Imagine you at the Cracker Barrel and you just ate pancakes and sausage and eggs and bacon, man. You ate all of that stuff, man. And you come outside, somebody got a plate of ribs outside, and they say we giving these ribs away. You're not gonna eat them because you're full, right? You know what I'm saying? No matter how good they smell, no matter how good they taste, because you're full. You know what I'm saying? But imagine you done went 3 weeks and you ain't ate. And a woman show up with one tooth and one hair strand, and she got a plate of cornbread crumbs. And you ain't ate 3 weeks. You gonna eat them cornbread crumbs because you hungry, right? Well, it's the same thing with temptation, right? You know what I'm saying? If a person is taking care of your needs, it decreases the level of the temptation, right? Because you're taken care of. But if you're not taken care of, that woman with one tooth and one strand of hair could come around. You know what I'm saying? And people fall to that because of the position that they in. and then people will look and say, man, how did he do that? Huh? Well, it's a person that finds themselves in a weak situation, and in the weaker the situation, the lower your standards get.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, my advice to each other, not just to a woman to a man, but a man to a woman, is to help protect each other, right? So I'm not gonna give my son a Corvette at 15 and put him in a position to hurt himself because he can't handle it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And so we know each other. We should not allow each other to be put in the situations to where we can fall. You know what I'm saying? If we know we can prevent that. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And so here's what I would say to women. You might be tired, but somebody ain't. So you better get some 5-hour energy or a Red Bull or whatever you got to do.
I got a case on it.
Yeah. Some Gatorade, keep you some Gatorade or whatever you need, but you need.
Some of them definitely ain't.
Yeah, because it's people that work every day just like you.
They got some hot sex.
Yeah, to go to work and do everything you do. But the freaks come out at night.
Yeah, I think I agree to that to a certain extent. Like, I just feel like, with women, I understand that you want to take care of your men, but I also feel like men need to be more in tune with their woman needs. Also.
Well, that's the other side. So that's another side to it. And guess what? And next Friday we gonna talk about that.
Yeah,
but today we just talk about what we need.
Women, I can't say what I want to say.
Yeah,
it's about the men.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that next Friday. But today we talk about what we need.
Right. So that's what men say. So let's say Trail says, I'm in that 5%. Cheating wouldn't be an option under no circumstance. With that being said, when I need some, I'm not gonna ask twice. LOL. Let's see. Michael said if he truly loves her, he won't cheat.
Who said that?
Michael Dancy said if he truly loves her, he won't cheat. And then
hold on. So people who he said people who love somebody, they won't cheat because they love them.
Right. Yeah, they saying if it's true love.
Oh, okay. I disagree.
You won't cheat.
I disagree, Michael. Peter loved Jesus, but he denied him 3 times.
So let's see. Deacon Ellis says, preach.
That's my dog. That's my dog. That's my dog.
Yeah, I have so much I can say to that, but it's about
save it next Friday.
Right, I won't say anything. I'm gonna save it. So, okay, one more thing, and then we're kind of just gonna sum it up. Let's talk about insecurities, right? Because I hear a lot of men say that they need their woman to be secure. They don't want an insecure woman, and so sometimes I feel like men don't look at what could have possibly led that woman to be insecure. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes a lot of things could have happened in the past that will have that woman to be insecure.
And we'll let you tell us next Friday.
Right, and then hold on, I'm not gonna get into a lot. And then I also feel like there are some women who are just insecure. Like, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? So can y'all kind of talk to us about insecurity in women? Like, what do you all need us? Like, how y'all need us to be more insecure. And I know more secure. I know with you, with you being a pastor, like, this would be a big deal. And even you, like, this would be a big deal for y'all because y'all have to communicate, you know what I'm saying, with so many women. So your spouses have to have a level of security and a level of trust. So how do y'all keep that? You know what I'm saying? Especially with men who are in positions where they have to talk to a lot of people of the opposite sex.
Yeah, Go ahead.
What's the question? How do you
help your wife become more secure?
Yeah. How do you help your wife
with security or maid or spouse or whatever it is with security?
I would say just communicate as much as you can as possible. As a pastor, you can't divulge all the information about people's personal life. That's just not right in any circumstance.
Right.
But I mean, you can say, I mean, I'm just wise enough to let. Okay, I'm just wise enough to let my wife know if I'm finna meet with somebody fine, she might need to know about it. That's just me.
Right.
If she fine, I'm like, hey, Taser,
Yeah.
I mean with such and such today. We finna have a conference call at this particular time. That's just a mod.
Right.
I'm making
Right.
sure that she know
Right.
Right.
what's going on. Now,
Right.
am I finna talk about every single thing that I'm talking about? In that conversation? No, but I will do my best to include her in on some type of details to ensure that at least you know what's going on, and I think the rest is up to you at that point.
Yeah. So like this, my wife's a nurse. She work around doctors.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Ugh.
Not one time in 20 years that she ever came to me and said this doctor said this or this doctor. You know what I'm saying? Never. You know what I'm saying? You think I'm stupid enough to think that? Yeah, said something or nothing out the way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I don't. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I mean, this is how I honestly feel. You know what I'm saying? Like I love my wife. I love my family. If she come home tomorrow and say, I'm in love with a doctor and I'm moving, I'm gonna say, do you help me get to the U-Haul?
You're not gonna say that. He is not gonna say
With
that.
the hard lines,
Yeah. Is there any particular U-Haul place you want to get? No. I mean, like, I just feel like this. You know what I'm saying? When it comes from a state of security, like we can't control what other people do.
Right.
Like we have no control what other people do. Other people do the choice and decisions they make. We can't control their choice and decision. But I just think it's about a person knowing that you want them. Like doing the things to let a person know that it's you that I want to be with. You know what I'm saying? And that's not, sometimes that can be because, I don't, a lot of people may not have read this book, but it's a book called the 5 Love Languages. Like everybody speaks a different love language. Like yours might be affection, and mine might be affirmation, and his might be materialistic things. But we all speak. And so it's really finding out what the person that you're with, what love language they speak, and to try to make an effort to do it. You know what I'm saying? To focus on giving them affirmation in that love language. Where the issues come in relationships a lot of times is two people do things that hurt each other, right? And then there's a certain level of unforgiveness in your relationship, and in that level of unforgiveness, it makes a person not want to do those things. And that's what makes people insecure. When you got a relationship where two people have made mistakes, they haven't really haven't forgiven each other. They still holding on to stuff, and then that one person, they know what it is that the other person needs, but they just don't have a desire to give it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's where insecurity, real insecurity, comes into relationships. I think so. In our relationships, there's one thing that we have to constantly do, and that is forgive one another. We have to constantly be in a place of forgiveness, because we're all dealing with imperfect people, right? Who make mistakes and fall short. You know what I mean? And so that's where love, where he's talking about what real love is. Right. Real love, it's not the absence of mistakes, but it's being able to forgive through the mistakes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think if you said something about, that you can't control what other people do, I think one good thing, you can't control it, but you can set boundaries. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You can't control them, but you can set boundaries.
I'm thinking with the question is, how do I help a person with that security?
Mm-hmm.
And so, definitely, like you said, setting boundaries. But me informing you that there are boundaries set.
Right.
That makes it the man and the woman. Hey, how can I help you feel secure in a sense? And so, including you in on certain things, I think will help as it pertains to security.
Right. That's good.
Yeah. So, my wife asked me the other night. She asked me. She said, "Do you know my favorite color?" No. I didn't. You know what I'm saying? And maybe, I don't know, that's just something the question we ain't, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That we ain't talked about, you know what I'm saying? But here's where the issue came in. She never told me her favorite color. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even in that conversation, you know what I'm saying? She never said, well, my favorite color is, but she might have been expecting me to ask, well, what is your favorite color? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think, you know what I'm saying, like little things like that is communication.
Yeah.
Where communication, you know, where you have to, where one person or the other has to try to close the communication gap. You know what I'm saying? To where you know what it is a person that's important to a person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because how can you do something for somebody that you don't even know?
Right.
Like, if I don't know what's important to you, I don't know what you know what I'm saying? That's why we have these conversations right now. If I don't know what it is that you expect from me or what it is you want me to do, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I think, you know, just to be on the first lady side a little bit. Sometimes women, and we'll dig deeper into this next week.
Why you taking sides?
But like, because I'm a woman, I think
Okay.
sometimes we feel like the men should just be more in tune. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, some things we don't have to just come out and say, oh, pink is my favorite color. If you see every time we out somewhere and I'm pointing out something pink, or when I'm bringing in something in the house, like the majority of the colors are pink, like, that's where you should just be more in tune to a woman. We don't always just have to tell y'all.
Yeah.
But I think
It's
what
like-
y'all don't see is like in a lot of men's heads, like they not think, like we got so much going on in our heads and we not thinking about like little stuff.
Like the last, I'm gonna show you the difference though. But check this out. She asked me that. I was like, nah. She never told me her favorite color. But notice, I never asked her, do you know what my favorite color is?
Probably because that's not really.
That's the point I'm making. That's the point I'm making. That's all I'm doing. I'm making a
What's
point.
important is
Right.
different
That
than everybody.
and if I don't know that that's important to you,
Right.
you see what I'm saying? I don't have a desire to try to find out your favorite color.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Unless I know that's important. And the fact that you didn't tell me after I said that I didn't know tells me that that's
That
important to be important to you.
Well, I feel like.
And you know how much we own this house is what's important to me.
Okay, so Mr. Anthony Hampton said, great discussion and glad y'all are doing this. And Mrs. Ahmad said, yup, when you were talking about that you let her know if you're going to have a conference call, she said, yup, I need to know. I know that's right. Yeah, so.
I got to know. I got to know.
I need to know. So I feel like, you know, we have covered a lot. Like, there are so many other topics that I can think of that we can talk about, but you know, we've been on here for a while. So I would just like to end it with like a summary. You know, the question is, what are the 3 most important things a man needs from his woman? And so I would like for all 3 of y'all to just, you know, to just kind of tell us a little bit, like, what do you feel like is more important? You know what I'm saying? Is it her working? Is it her being dressed up? Like, what do you really need from us?
Right. Go ahead.
Sex.
And sex. No. Go ahead. Yeah, I thought it was sex. Okay, go ahead.
So definitely sex, support, substance.
Sex, affirmation.
And sex
Next
has to get
one when
married.
you married. Next when you are married.
Yeah,
Okay.
sex, affirmation, and loyalty.
Loyalty. For me, the first would be that I can trust her. You know what I'm saying? That to me, that's the most important thing for me is being able to trust somebody. And the second would probably be affirmation. And the third would be even though y'all probably didn't think the third for me would be sex. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all thought.
Oh, that wasn't no order.
Yeah, I know y'all
That
thought it was gonna be first. Yeah, no, for me, so in that order, it would be trust, affirmation, sex. That's my order.
That's good.
Mhm.
Donna, I think on next week, because you said something that really got my blood going. I would really love to talk about on next week how men are supposed to know what's going on in your mind.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's good.
Well, if I'm back next week,
That's
I'll
good.
be-
Yeah. Oh, we got to have you back. We got to have you back.
I love
Hey, if you could, we had that session started in about 30 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So So in closing, just want to say, man, I hope you guys really enjoyed what we did here today. How long we been going? So an hour?
Yeah, an hour and 15
An hour and
minutes.
15 minutes. It seemed like we just started. Thanks to Ahmad and thanks to Dylan and thanks to Donna for moderating this. It's been an amazing discussion, man. I really enjoyed it. Had a great time, man. I hope that those of you who watched it today had a great time. I want you to take this video today and share it with your friends and don't just share it. Create some dialogue and some conversations about the things that we talked about,
Right.
and hopefully in your marriages and in your relationships, you can talk about some of these issues, and it'll bring you guys closer together. Now, we don't want you to take this and start no arguments now,
Right.
but we want you to take this and I hope it's a blessing to you and it helps you. I want to say again, thanks to Donna, man. She did an amazing job moderating this today. Again, next Friday we'll be coming to you again at noon. Next Friday we'll be talking about what it is that a woman needs from her man.
Yes, tune in, ladies.
Tune into that at noon next week, and then the following week we'll be talking about what is the church doing with my money, and then we'll be finishing up talking about why hasn't the church called me. And so we're going to be dealing with those issues over the next 3 weeks. With this being Good Friday, I want you guys to be safe out there and remember what this weekend is all about. The Bible tells us that it says, "For God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, that whosoever would believe in Him would not perish but have everlasting life." We know that Jesus Christ came and died on Calvary for us. The Bible says He was resurrected on the third day, and this is the weekend that we celebrate the resurrection of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. On 6:30 tomorrow evening, I'll be streaming live our Easter message. I want you guys to tune in on 6:30 tomorrow. If you would today, go ahead and share that with all your friends. Let them know to tune in on tomorrow evening at 6:30. On Sunday, we'll be continuing our new membership orientation class with Pastor Ahmad Mutasid. And so for all of you out there that's watching us live, and those of you who will be watching this at a later time, again, we want to say we thank you for being on here with us today. We hope you enjoyed the discussion that we had. And pass the word around. Next Friday, we'll be right back here again at noon with a table full of women, and we'll be discussing what it is that the women need from us. May God keep you and may God bless you. Have a great Easter weekend.
Bye-bye.